The Great Pet Mutation Story. 11-year-old Alex jumped out of bed faster than a caffeinated kangaroo when their phone buzzed with the most exciting notification in gaming history. Grow a garden update, pet mutations now available. No way, Alex shouted, accidentally waking up their younger sister Emma, who shared their love for the most popular farming game in the universe. Well, technically it was just the most popular game on Roblox with over 21 million players, but to Alex and Emma, that was basically the entire universe. Is it here? Is it finally here? Emma squeaked, jumping up and down on her bed like a bouncy ball. Her rainbow pajamas matched perfectly with her equally colorful personality. The Pet Mutations update is live, Alex announced dramatically, throwing their arms in the air like they'd just discovered buried treasure. Quick, get your laptop. We need to check this out before everyone else crashes the servers. The two siblings had been preparing for this day for weeks. They'd saved up billions of shekels, the game's currency, optimized their gardens to perfection, and even made a secret pact to share mutation strategies. Their friends at school thought they were a little obsessed, but Alex and Emma knew they were just passionate about virtual farming excellence. Emma dove for her bright pink laptop, while Alex grabbed their gaming setup. Within minutes, both kids were logged into their adjacent garden plots in the magical world of Grow a Garden, where anything was possible and carrots could literally dance. "Oh my gosh!" Emma shrieked so loudly that their mom yelled from downstairs, asking if everything was okay. "Alex, look at the Pet Mutations machine!" There it was, gleaming like a disco ball made of pure, awesome sauce. The Pet Mutations machine stood next to Raphael the merchant, looking like something a mad scientist would build if they were obsessed with making pets super cool. Crystalline chambers pulsed with mysterious blue light, copper pipes twisted around its base like metallic spaghetti, and holographic displays showed 12 different mutation types that made both kids' eyes go wide. 12 mutations? Alex whispered in awe, reading the list aloud. Giant, tiny, shocked, ascended, boosted, protective, sunny, dawnbound, frozen, windstruck, shiny, and glowing. Emma, do you realize what this means? That our pets are about to become the coolest things since sliced bread with rainbow sprinkles? Emma replied, bouncing in her chair. Exactly. But also that we need to choose wisely. These mutations cost 1 billion shekels each. Alex had 3 beloved pets roaming their garden. First was Giggles, a level 45 disco bee whose body flashed with party lights and could make crops dance with the disco mutation, worth 125 times normal value. Then there was Chompers, a level 67 T-Rex who was basically a friendly dinosaur that occasionally stomped around making crops grow faster. Finally, there was Whiskers, a level 52 mimic octopus who could transform into any other pet and copy their abilities. Emma's garden was equally impressive with her trio of companions. Sparklebutt, yes, that was really its name, was a level 41 dragonfly that could turn random fruits into pure gold. Professor Fluffington was a level 39 disco hedgehog that made crops sparkle with valuable mutations, and her newest addition was Captain Waddles, a level 28 penguin who had somehow learned to surf on rainbow waves while applying ice mutations to crops. "Okay, strategy meeting," Alex declared, opening their notebook labeled Super Secret Garden Plans, Keep Out Emma, which Emma had obviously read multiple times. "We need to decide which pets get mutated first." "I vote Sparklebutt gets the shiny mutation," Emma announced immediately. "She's already sparkly, so making her extra shiny would be like putting glitter on a unicorn." Alex nodded thoughtfully. That actually made sense. The shiny mutation would give Sparklebutt 15% bonus XP gain and make her glow even brighter. Plus, the enhanced abilities would help her create gold mutations more frequently. "And I think Giggles should get the tiny mutation," Alex decided. Imagine a super tiny disco bee that eats 20% less food but still makes crops dance. She'd be the most efficient party animal ever. Emma was so excited about mutating Sparklebutt that she clicked through the Pet Mutations machine interface faster than her brain could keep up. She selected her beloved dragonfly, chose the shiny mutation, and was about to confirm when she accidentally clicked on the wrong pet. "Wait! No! Stop!" Emma yelled at her screen, but it was too late. Instead of Sparklebutt, she had selected Captain Waddles for the shiny mutation. 1 billion shekels vanished from her account, and her penguin was sucked into the crystalline chamber where swirling energies began to envelop his fluffy form. "Emma, what happened?" Alex asked, hearing their sister's distressed sounds. "I accidentally mutated Captain Waddles instead of Sparklebutt," Emma wailed. "Now I have to wait 1 hour for a shiny penguin instead of a shiny dragonfly." Alex tried not to laugh. "Hey, at least you'll have the most fabulous penguin in the entire game. Think about it, a glowing penguin who surfs on rainbow waves, that's going to be epic." The hour-long wait gave both siblings time to explore the other new features that came with the Pet Mutations update. The prehistoric event had been expanded with 6 new dinosaur pets, and there were bonus quests that made collecting Bone Blossom easier for crafting ancient eggs. "Look at this!" Alex called out, pointing to their screen. They added Giant Pinecone and Grand Volcania to the seed shop, and check out these craftable seeds, Horsetail and Amber Spine. Emma was busy reading about the enhanced DNA machine. "Alex, you can now upgrade the DNA machine 5 times instead of 3, and they buffed the effects of prehistoric fruits." While they waited, both kids joined their favorite Discord server, where 4.2 million other Grow a Garden fans were sharing screenshots of their mutated pets. The channel was exploding with excitement. Dino Kid 2025. "Just got giant mutation on my T-Rex. He's massive." Petmaster. "Tiny disco bee is so cute, and the reduced hunger is perfect for overnight farming." Mutation madness. "Shocked pterodactyl attracts lightning during storms. My crops are getting 100x multipliers." "Oh my gosh, look at this." Emma showed Alex a screenshot of someone's glowing fennec fox. The cute desert fox was radiating soft rainbow light while stealing mutations from neighboring farms. "I want one so badly." Alex was studying the strategic implications. "Emma, think about this. If we position our mutated pets correctly, we could create amazing synergy effects. Your shiny penguin could work with my tiny bee to create the ultimate crop production system." When the hour was up, both kids gathered around Emma's screen to watch Captain Waddles emerge from the Pet Mutations machine. The crystalline chamber opened with a brilliant flash of light, and what came out made them both gasp. Captain Waddles was no longer just a regular penguin. He now gleamed with the most spectacular shine imaginable, like someone had dipped him in liquid starlight. His feathers caught every ray of virtual sunlight and reflected it in dazzling patterns across Emma's garden. But the most amazing part was that he still retained his rainbow surfing abilities, now enhanced with the luminescent glow. "He's beautiful," Emma squealed, clapping her hands together. "Look at him go." Captain Waddles began surfing on his rainbow wave, but now the wave itself sparkled with his shiny mutation effects. As he glided across the garden, ice mutations spread to nearby crops with improved frequency thanks to the 10% ability boost from the shiny mutation. Plus, his enhanced XP gain meant he would age faster and become even more powerful. "Emma, that was actually the perfect accident," Alex said, in amazement. "Captain Waddles looks incredible." Word of Emma's spectacular shiny penguin spread quickly through their friend group. Their classmate Jake, username Dinosaur Dave, immediately video-called them. "Emma, I just saw your penguin in the community Discord. He's going viral. Everyone's talking about the surfing shiny penguin. Indeed, screenshots of Captain Waddles had started circulating throughout the a garden community. The combination of his rainbow surfing and brilliant shine created such a unique visual effect that other players were traveling to Emma's garden just to see him in action. "I'm famous," Emma giggled, watching as her visitor counter climbed rapidly. Players were leaving comments like, "Coolest pet ever," and "How did you make a penguin so awesome?" Inspired by Emma's accidental success, Alex decided to take a more calculated approach to their first mutation. After careful consideration and multiple spreadsheet calculations, yes, Alex made spreadsheets for a Roblox game, they chose to mutate Giggles with the protective mutation instead of Tiny. "Why protective?" Emma asked, watching Alex navigate the pet mutations machine interface with scientific precision. "Because," Alex explained, like a professor teaching advanced garden theory, the protective mutation will create a shield around valuable crops, preventing them from being affected by negative events or weather. Since Giggles already applies disco mutations worth 125 times normal value, protecting those crops is way more important than saving a little bit on food costs. Alex's logic was sound, but they hadn't considered how funny a protective disco bee would look. When Giggles emerged from the mutation chamber, she retained her party light effects, but now also projected a shimmering force field around herself. The combination made her look like a tiny bee superhero with disco powers. "She looks like she's about to save the world through the power of dance." Emma laughed as Giggles buzzed around the garden, leaving trails of sparkles and protective shields. The protective mutation worked exactly as intended. A magical barrier now surrounded Alex's most valuable disco-mutated crops, making them immune to crop diseases, weather damage, and other negative effects. More importantly, the protection extended to nearby plants, creating safe zones throughout the garden. Word of the siblings' successful pet mutations reached their entire friend group, leading to the formation of what they called the Mutation Squad. Jake joined with his newly acquired Sunny Spinosaurus, which emitted growth-boosting sunshine. Their friend Luna brought her Ascended Blood Hedgehog with 90% mutation success rate, and their classmate Marcus showed up with a frozen polar bear that created stunning ice crystal effects. "Okay, Mutation Squad," Alex announced during their daily Discord call. "It's time for the great mutation experiment. We're going to coordinate our gardens to create the ultimate synergy effect." The plan was ambitious: position all their mutated pets to create overlapping ability zones that would maximize crop mutation rates, growth speeds, and protection levels. It required precise mathematical calculations and perfect timing. Emma's shiny Captain Waddles would surf along the border between her garden and Jake's, spreading ice mutations while his luminescent glow enhanced the effects of nearby pets. Alex's protective Giggles would create safe zones for the most valuable crops, while her disco effects continued to generate massive multipliers. Jake's Sunny Spinosaurus would accelerate plant growth. Luna's Ascended Blood Hedgehog would ensure high mutation success rates, and Marcus's frozen polar bear would add spectacular visual effects while providing additional ice mutations. "This is either going to be the coolest thing ever or a complete disaster," Marcus said nervously as they synchronized their pet movements. "Why not both?" Emma giggled. The great mutation experiment began at exactly 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. All 5 friends positioned their pets according to Alex's carefully calculated diagram, which looked like a battle plan drawn by a caffeinated mathematician. For the first few minutes, everything worked perfectly. Captain Waddles surfed his rainbow wave while gleaming like a disco ball, spreading ice mutations to Jake's prehistoric ferns. Giggles buzzed around, creating protective shields that shimmered with party lights. The sunny Spinosaurus bathed everything in growth-enhancing sunshine, while the ascended blood hedgehog scurried around applying mutations with incredible efficiency. Then, Marcus's frozen polar bear decided to take a nap. In Grow a Garden, pets occasionally need rest, and they do this by finding a comfortable spot and refusing to move for a while. Unfortunately, Marcus's polar bear chose to nap directly in the path of Captain Waddles's rainbow surfing route. "Incoming penguin!" Emma shouted as Captain Waddles surfed straight toward the sleeping polar bear. What happened next was like something out of a cartoon. Captain Waddles hit the polar bear and bounced off like a shiny rubber ball, sending him flying across 3 different garden plots. He landed in Luna's hedge maze, where he got confused and started surfing in circles, while her ascended blood hedgehog tried to figure out why there was suddenly a glowing penguin in her territory. The chaos created a chain reaction. Giggles, the protective disco bee, saw Captain Waddles flying through the air and immediately activated maximum protection mode, creating shields around everything in sight. Jake's sunny Spinosaurus got startled by all the commotion and started emitting sunshine at double speed, causing crops to grow so fast that Luna's garden filled with giant vegetables in seconds. "My carrots are the size of trees!" Luna screamed in delight and terror. Marcus's frozen polar bear woke up from his nap to find everything around him covered in ice crystals, party lights, rainbow trails, and protective force fields. The confused bear looked around, shrugged. Yes, polar bears can shrug in this game, and created the biggest ice crystal explosion anyone had ever seen. When the chaos finally settled, the 5 friends stared at their screens in amazement. The great mutation experiment had created something no one expected, the most spectacular garden display in Grow a Garden history. Emma's plot was now home to a shining penguin who surfed figure 8s around ice crystal formations. Alex's garden featured a superhero bee creating disco force fields around dancing vegetables. Jake's area looked like a prehistoric paradise with dinosaurs sunbathing among giant ferns. Luna's maze was filled with tree-sized carrots that sparkled with blood mutations. And Marcus's garden had become a winter wonderland where ice crystals reflected all the other pets' light effects. But the most amazing part was the center area, where all their plots connected. The overlapping pet abilities had created a swirling vortex of effects, rainbow ice crystals that danced to disco music, protective shields that sparkled with sunshine, and crops that cycled through every possible mutation in mesmerizing patterns. "We accidentally created art," Alex said in wonder. "Living art," Emma corrected, watching as their pets continued to interact in unexpected ways. News of their creation spread through the Grow, a garden community faster than gossip in a school cafeteria. Players began visiting their coordinated gardens to witness the spectacular display. The game's developers even featured their creation in the official Discord server with the caption, "This is what happens when creativity meets chaos." Over the following weeks, the Mutation Squad became legendary in the Grow a Garden community. Their successful experiment inspired other groups to attempt coordinated mutations, leading to an explosion of creativity and collaboration across the game. Emma's shiny Captain Waddles became something of a celebrity. Players would visit her garden specifically to watch him surf his rainbow waves while gleaming like a living star. She even started scheduling surfing shows where Captain Waddles would perform tricks for audiences of other players. Alex's protective giggles earned a reputation as the most reliable guardian in the game. Other players began requesting Alex's help to protect their valuable crops during major growing events. Giggle's combination of disco mutations and protective shields made her invaluable for high-stakes farming. The friends continued experimenting with mutations, each developing their own specialties. Jake became known for his collection of sunny dinosaurs that could grow crops in record time. Luna mastered the art of ascended pets, achieving mutation success rates that seemed almost impossible. Marcus specialized in frozen pets, creating ice gardens that were both beautiful and highly productive. 3 weeks after the Pet Mutations update launched, the game developers announced a special challenge: the Great Garden Competition. Players could submit their gardens for judging in categories like Most Creative, Most Productive, and Best Pet Synergy. "We have to enter," Emma declared immediately. "Our coordinated gardens are perfect for this." But Alex had bigger ambitions. What if we don't just enter our current gardens? What if we create something entirely new for the competition? Thus began the most ambitious project in Mutation Squad history, Project Rainbow Paradise. The goal was to create a coordinated 5-plot garden that showcased every single mutation type in perfect harmony. The plan required each friend to mutate multiple pets with different mutations, then arrange them to create a flowing narrative told through garden design. Emma would create the Sparkle Zone with shiny and glowing pets. Alex would build the Protection Plaza with protective and boosted pets. Jake would construct Sunshine Shores with sunny and dawn-bound pets. Luna would design Ascension Avenue with ascended and windstruck pets. Marcus would establish Crystal Caverns with frozen and shocked pets. The project would require months of saving, planning, and coordination. They needed to mutate at least 15 pets total, each costing 1 billion shekels. But the Mutation Squad was determined to create something truly magical. The Great Garden Competition deadline arrived on a crisp October morning. After months of preparation, saving, and countless hours of coordination, Project Rainbow Paradise was ready for judging. Emma's Sparkle Zone featured Captain Waddles surfing alongside a glowing fennec fox, whose light effects created aurora patterns in the sky. Alex's Protection Plaza showcased Giggles working with a boosted disco hedgehog to create the most secure and productive farming area ever conceived. Jake's Sunshine Shores was a tropical paradise where sunny dinosaurs basked in eternal sunshine while growing exotic fruits. Luna's Ascension Avenue featured floating platforms where windstruck and ascended pets created aerial displays of mutation mastery. Marcus's Crystal Caverns was an underground wonderland where shocked and frozen pets generated lightning ice storms that made crops sparkle with electric frost. But the masterpiece was the central hub where all 5 areas connected. Through careful planning and pet positioning, they had created a constantly shifting display of colors, effects, and mutations. Every few minutes, the pets would align in different patterns, creating new combinations of abilities and visual effects. The judging took place over 3 days, with game developers and community leaders visiting each submitted garden. When they reached Project Rainbow Paradise, even the judges stopped to stare in amazement. "This isn't just a garden," one developer said in the Discord livestream. "This is a symphony of creativity, strategy, and friendship." The Mutation Squad watched nervously as the judges spent over an hour exploring every detail of their creation. They tested the synergy effects, observed the pet interactions, and took countless screenshots of the spectacular displays. When the results were announced the following week, Project Rainbow Paradise didn't just win one category, it swept them all. Most Creative, Most Productive, Best Pet Synergy, and even a special award for Most Inspiring Collaboration. 6 months later, Alex and Emma still played Grow a Garden together every day after school. The Pet Mutations update had evolved into even more features: pet breeding, genetic combinations, and seasonal mutations that changed with real-world holidays. Captain Waddles now had a family of surfing penguins, each with their own unique mutations. Giggles had become the leader of a protective bee colony that defended an entire farming district. The Mutation Squad's friendship had grown stronger through their shared adventures, and they had inspired dozens of other friend groups to collaborate on their own garden projects. On quiet evenings, when the digital sun set over their virtual gardens, Alex and Emma would sit with their pets and watch the fruits of their labor, literally. Their crops danced with disco lights, sparkled with golden mutations, and grew under the protective care of their beloved companions. Remember when we thought the Pet Mutations update was just about making pets look cool? Emma said one evening, as Captain Waddles performed his signature rainbow loop-de-loop. Now I realize it was about something way more important, Alex replied, watching Giggles create a heart-shaped force field around their favorite tomato plant. It was about learning that the best adventures happen when friends work together. Captain Waddles surfed over and nuzzled Emma's avatar, his shiny feathers reflecting the sunset colors. Giggles buzzed over to Alex and performed a little disco dance. All around them, their garden thrived with the magic of mutations, friendship, and endless possibilities. The Pet Mutations update had given them new abilities for their digital companions, but more importantly, it had given them memories that would last a lifetime. In the world of Grow a Garden, anything was possible, especially when you had friends to share the adventure. And somewhere in the distance, a T-Rex wearing sunglasses was teaching a polar bear how to dance, because in Grow a Garden, even the most unlikely friendships could bloom into something beautiful. The end.